just only in New York, right? Total New York moment. You keep it short. Story is I'm opening for the TKTS booth out here.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm doing a quick 25 minutes for the folks that are waiting to get their tickets.
Yeah, I read about that you were going to open that you were going to open that show in USA Today. They did a full page front page, wasn't it? It was the full front page.
It was a full front. I was right under the temperature. I was like, today's temperature 37. And then it was like Jake West, feature act / MC / headliner.
You don't deal with the press a lot.
Hardly at all.
But didn't your people have some sort of issue with them also mentioning the temperature on the front page?
If it's below 50, I don't appreciate them mentioning that. And that's frankly why I don't do interviews with USA Today anymore.
And I think even the layman knows that you're not available for that. Everybody knows that. That's in the business.
Having a New York moment, yeah. You've been there.
Your face technically is an IP.
Yeah, that's fine. Just as long as you sign that thing with Disney saying that we could record this. Right. And remember, we thought that one guy was Paul Rudd, and he was acting like Paul Rudd.
It was mainly because we kept calling him Ant-Man. Like, we kept following this guy around, like, hey, what's up, Ant-Man? And it turned out that wasn't Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd does not fly Spirit. We were like, okay, well, let's see if we can both be Paul Rudds. Like, we're trying to have a Rudd off. Like, it was a tie. Like, the audience was like, you both should never do this again.
You did one night. You did 2.5 hours, and you were hosting.
Yes, I was hosting, and the club was like, hey, we got to close. Like, I got to be honest. When you're in the zone, like, it takes over. And the thing is, like, okay, I know they were giving me the light, but I was like, yes, but that light was like, I'm used to looking to the right, and it was like off to the left. So I was like, in my defense, like, I was switched around.
Right.
So I didn't see it. I was not looking. So anyway,
because in all the other clubs in Phoenix, it's always on the right.
It's always on the right. It's just standard. Right. It's standard Phoenix practice. It's standard Phoenix. It's everyone knows. Yeah. Flagstaff is weirdly above. Like, Flagstaff is like, you have to do like this. It's like up. I don't know why they do that, but Flagstaff is like over your head. You have to like look up.
Right.
To the light. It's like directly. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, the audience can see the light better than you can.
No, yeah, and then Tempe, it's behind you, which is like, that's not. I don't know why that's who like. And then the audience is supposed to. Then the audience is supposed to be like
right,
like like that. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, but I don't know why they. We passed out snacks, which I thought was nice. Like, I was like, a lot of comics don't pass out like for like long sets.
Right. Yeah, if you're doing that long of a set, there needs to, for regular civilians, there needs to be some sort of nutrition involved. And that led to the Gatorade sponsorship because of, and y'all have had a long history since then, but that a lot of people don't remember. I don't even know if you remember, but the Gatorade reps were there and they saw their opportunity. They were like, oh, he's doing these long sets. And then so when we would dump that Gatorade on our heads, after a long set, I'm pretty sure you fried several of those like Yamaha mixers that they used to have, the sound mixer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did not know they're not waterproof.
Big contract.
Gatorade. And then you had a thing with Twix. Like, you were like, you had a Twix thing where like you had.
I kept trying to get you in on that because we were always doing shows together, and we couldn't really agree on which one would be the left Twix.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be the good one.
And I was like, the same way which is like the northern Kit Kat, like like north, like southern Kit Kat, north. Like, how do you like? You just know. So it's like
you can taste the difference.
You can. So
they got you a green room that was bigger than the showroom.
The green room was enormous. The green room was actually. It was weird. I was like, why? The showroom, I would say, generously seated about 18 people. The green room could have held about 350.
Yeah.
It was huge.
And that green room was insane. I mean, there was like pickup basketball games going on in there.
There was a half pipe. I was like, I got really good at skateboarding, and I've never learned to skateboard, but that green room, I was like, I guess I'm a skateboarder now.
Yeah, because when I was taking the long set, I could hear you in the back. I could hear you working on your ollies and
like again, now I know what an ollie is, and like I made up a couple, like the Diggler.
Right.
Which
I still don't know how you do. I don't want to know.
No, you don't want. No. You shouldn't know. No one wants to know.
Like the whole umbrella bit that you used to do coming on stage.
I would have like an English accent, and I was like, "Hello, it's raining, isn't it?" And then I would like have my umbrella, but it wasn't. The joke was like it wasn't raining,
right?
And that would go on for about
a lot of times in those Arizona clubs. You know, they didn't even know what rain was.
No, Arizona's like, why is there an Englishman with a top hat with
like a little porcupine? Like what?
That was a mistake. Yeah, that was. I gave it to a lady in the front row, and she was not ready. And she lost the sensation in her right hand because the needles like really like we were saying, like involve the community, and I thought that the lady would want the hold of porcupine, but it turns out I
laugh at it now.
No, I get it is. It's weird. It's like because she was having a great time. She was like literally
for the rest of your whole set. She stayed for my set after that.
She stayed we took her back into the 350 person green room.
Because like before the show, that lady specifically was lights out from the 3-point line.
No, she was still laughing, like maniacally laughing. And we were like, okay.
Right.
This might be some kind of reaction.
Tetanus or something.
I did not know there was a club in Antarctica.
Yeah, and like the thing is like when you do that club, because I did it, Spade did it. I think Rock went down there.
You know what? Joe Rogan trained down there.
Yes,
he trained down there. I don't know if he did any sets down there, but he said it's one of the best gyms.
Right,
it's great rock climbing.
There's something to do with like the atmosphere or something.
Yeah,
and I went down there, and like it does work on your comedy like that. I mean, because if you're able to do your set, you know, your standard 2-hour set in that environment. Yeah, you can do it anywhere in the world, and also like a lot. What Spade and Rock and those guys didn't mention is that it's all scientists that you're performing to. Lots of penguin material. I did polar bear material, and they're not. Polar bears and penguins never live in the same place.
No, that's the misconception, which I didn't know until you were telling me about your research.
Yes. Yeah. And so I was doing a lot of those kind of jokes. Like, hey, what if they did live in the same place? Wouldn't it be crazy?
You did do a lot of material, like dating material, but again, I know you tailored it to like biologistsonly.com or like, you know, those kind of like, okay, what, you know, it's so hard to find a biologist who also is a PhD in nuclear temperature adjustment.
Right. And I became a scientist basically for 2 years.
Yeah, you took off from comedy for 2 years, and you just worked for NASA and worked for the government. Like I know we don't want to like say like what you did, because some of it might be like
I can't say it.
No, legally.
You did date around in Hollywood back in those days, but it was embellished by the media a little bit.
They really made a big thing of it. It was like
it was some charity or something we were doing, and I saw you backstage, and you were talking to Cindy. You remember Cindy Crawford was there.
We were developing a fashion line. Like she was like, okay, I want to develop these shoes.
And when I saw you talking to Cindy Crawford, I was happy because of y'all's fling that had happened earlier, like in the early 90s. Early 90s.
Yeah, that was crazy. We started our fling as like a dare. Like I I dare you to do this. I dare you.
Right.
And then we just kept doing it. And I was like, I guess we're dating
Yeah.
or something. I guess we're doing this now. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
everybody like at the times and the posts, everybody thought you were like 100% dating.
Right. It was a crazy thing that neither one of us wanted to back down from. Like neither one of us, the funny thing is neither one of us were into the other, but we both were like, but we don't want to, she's very stubborn. She won't back down.
Oh yeah.
No, she will not back down. Like if you challenge her to like whatever it is, shot contest, pull up contest, race, Trivial Pursuit, whatever, she will not stop. She will not. She must win. So I was like, okay, well, which one of us will back down from dating the other? And we both like, I'm not going to back down. Neither will I. And so yeah, that went on for.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that that's how she got into modeling in the first place, is from a dare.
Somebody was like, she was just working at the box office, and they were like, hey, why don't you wear this outfit? And she's like, well, do you dare me? And they were like, yes, we do. And the rest is history. It was like that.
One funny thing is anytime somebody was doing a set
mm-hmm.
out in LA, you got police helicopters, you got news helicopters,
you got all of it,
ambulance, or like hospital helicopters. You got all those things. Anytime like one of those would fly over a comedy club, they thought you were coming.
It was like, here comes. It's like I would get calls from you. Like, who's playing the improv? I was like, that's not me. That's the police. Sometimes it was me. Sometimes, but sometimes it wasn't. It was like, it's not me every time. You were almost in the Olympics. Like you were almost in the Olympic. Like that was like, I remember you were like, I remember you were talking to me and you're like, man, I don't know, man. I love doing comedy, but like, I love bobsled. Like I love bobsled. And I was like,
well, like my body type is perfect for that position.
Yeah. Yep. Lanky. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Nike was sponsoring me before the whole bobsled thing.
Yep.
And I was just looking for a challenge in the mid 2000s. I was just looking for I was like, I've done everything with and because I grew up in Mississippi.
People don't know that Mississippi actually has. Mississippi is the third largest bobsled community in the country, which people don't know about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like I remember I saw you. I think it was 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before the accident.
Here's the thing: I didn't know that in Mississippi they didn't wear helmets to bobsled. Like I didn't know. I was like, oh, you guys just wear like bandanas. And I was like, oh, what did you think about Chris Pratt playing you in Lancey Richardson? Was that a fair?
I thought his performance was a little pandery. He was. I thought his heart was in the right place. It's just hard when you have somebody that's like not. I mean, he's popular and stuff, but this level of fame is just, it's not for everybody. And when to even try to act like you're at this level and like, because I think they nailed some of the stuff, like the backstage scenes.
Yep.
They had a couple of people in there. What Martin Short played my father.
I heard that his entire script was just improvised. Like they didn't write anything. He just showed up and you were like, hey, do you want to do any research on my father? And he was like, no, I got it. I was always curious, like, was that accurate? Like, did he get it?
Yeah. I mean, it's everything you thought it was. For sure.
Okay. Because he really cranked up the accent. Like he really cranked up the accent. I was like, I don't.
With Chris Pratt, he's a good kid,
Sure.
Like, he's doing his thing. And it's just different, especially when you're acting with other actors at that level. It's like, okay, what can you really do? So, I applaud him. I saw him backstage at the Grammys a couple of months ago. And we're cool.